This is KUGAN CASSIUS for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. We're at the press conference here for Chris EUBANK Jr. versus Arthur Abraham, July 15th, Wembley Arena, live on ITV Box Office. I'm joined by Chris EUBANK Sr. How are you, my friend?
Excellent.
Interesting press conference today, as always, when you're involved. You said in the press conference today that you actively want to take a backward step.
I already have. Junior is a built fighter.
Why now, though?
Why now? Because he's built. I mean, my job is done. Now, strategy is really the only thing we need to discuss before fights. His training program, he's built. Nobody beats him. I think I've done, a job. It's a very good job. I mean, the proof of that is that particular champions are running, sprinting away from Junior. So I think it's time. Let me step back and, come on, guys. Junior's there. ITV is here. So, there's lots of spondoolies available now. Junior is what he is, and so come forward. I couldn't have done that good a job.
You don't believe what you've done for your son already in his career moving forward will be of any benefit for you to be involved in the same way?
I don't think I need to now. It may be a distraction. I mean, he just wants to get on and do the work. And the work is actually fighting other men. He can talk for himself. He's extremely well behaved. He's objective. He's never subjective about any of the fighters he fights. He is his father's son, and so, I hear particular criticisms being directed at him because of particular views he may have on fighters quitting. He's been built by another fighter, one who was notable for the integrity of staying in a fight, especially when you couldn't win. So he's been brought up that way. So, his conduct, his personality, his rhythm as a man, it may sound coarse to, the fans. But he's not a fan, he's a fighter. And he's been built by a fighter. So staying in there and accepting a beating, if indeed you are absorbing one, is what you are taught to do. You don't quit because it's not going your way. So, that should be admired. It shouldn't be scorned upon. And people are saying, well, look at what happened to fighters like the ones who have, who are disabled. That's why we say it's not a sport. It's a sport to you, the spectators, not to us. And in fact, the public should appreciate that we are this way. This is boxing. It's gladiating. So it's not a game. In games, you can take time out. This is not a game. This is why it's so... that's why it creates compulsive viewing. People are very interested in seeing the soul of a man. So quitting is not supposed to be in our makeup. And for anyone to criticize this way of thinking doesn't really understand what boxing is. You can't understand. It's not a game.
The comments you're referring to are some comments that we heard from your son about KELL BROOK in his fight with Errol Spence. So, in your personal view, you believe that KELL BROOK should have continued that fight, regardless of his eye injury.
Look, you can't continue if it's not within you. You will do what you are. You know, if you don't have it in you, you will walk. You will give up. And when you do that, you will get what you deserve from the public, which is a pat on the back. You did well. Your name will then be forgotten. You see, you know, if you want the hearts of the people, then you have to go beyond the call of duty in this, what you call sport. You know, it's why Rocky, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, we can keep on counting, I know. It's why it's so engaging, because you have a man going beyond the call of duty. That's why it resonates. So when a man who should be able to go on, as far as the fighters are concerned, and doesn't, and the price they pay for quitting or for stopping is lifelong. It's lifelong. And equally, when you go beyond the call of duty, when you carry on when you can't, or when you shouldn't, you win what fighters are truly after. It looks like that fighters are after the belts. They're not really after the belts. They're after the hearts, the love from the people, and you only get that by going beyond the call of duty. So there you are.
Chris, are you saying it's impossible for your son to ever be in that position that Kell Brook found himself in a couple of weeks ago?
Impossible. Everything is possible.
Of course. So, but you're saying that you can speak for yourself as a fighter, but your son, you don't believe would ever, due to what many people appear, that Kell Brook quit in that fight. You don't believe that?
Look, again, just embrace my thinking as a former participant, as a builder of fighters. Keep this in mind. The view he has, or a fighter should have, in mind, is as follows. Think yourself lucky if you find yourself in a position where you are taking a beating that is unbearable. That is a lucky position to be in, because it's at that point where you can show what you're really about.
Hello, I'm Darren. How's it going?
You see, it's a completely different thinking for how you're thinking or how the public would think. You know, to be great in anything, when the opportunity comes along to be great or show that you have the ability to step up to the plate, it's an opportunity and a curse at the same time. Because it's not like you want to be in the position. You know, greatness isn't something that you can get in a controlled state. It will come at the time when you expect it least. And it will be unbearable to endure. Unbearable. And only in that moment do you see a man. Look, here's how greatness approaches you. Bear with me. You're on a beach. It's sunny. You're sunbathing. You have strawberry ice cream by your side. You have, let's say, a lady, or your family, or your friends with you. Then, out of nowhere, comes a situation of violence. Now, in that moment, will you get up and go towards that violence to save others?
Okay, and
If you will, if you put your life on the line, then you will get greatness, but your life will be on the line. And that's where what they refer to
the lead up to the fight.
Self-preservation. It's not cowardice, it's self-preservation. No one's a coward for running to save their life, because it's a human.
This is Chris EUBANK Jr. Watch the lead up to my fight on
It's
360 live on ITV Box Office. Is it live on ITV Box Office or just Box
it's
Office?
a position of surely you can. I think I've explained.
I think you have.
Yeah, I mean, it's to go looking for greatness is madness. Because you may be putting your life on the line. So you don't go looking for it, just stay in character. So staying in character as a fighter,
To my fight in 360 with ITV Box
just
Office.
do what you're supposed to do. Meaning that if someone knocks you down and you can get up, you get up. Not because
That was great though.
of anything other than the fact that it is the right thing to do. You're not stepping out of character.
Watch the lead up to my
And
fight in
that
360
can
with ITV Box Office.
endear you to the people who see you behave with that
That's really great. Yeah, fantastic.
integrity.
Hopefully we'll do some more in the build-up. Cool with you training.
Stay in character.
Yeah.
So, if a fighter goes down on one knee, look, at that time, let me explain to you what's happening in the mind of a fighter. You feel as though you're beaten. You feel as though the punishment is too much to bear. You think you're behind. There's no way you can win the fight. You're exhausted. You're battered. You are actually beaten. If you can still carry on, you have to carry on. If you don't carry on, then amongst fighters and the code of a fighter, it is frowned upon. You're never supposed to quit because that's not in the rule book. In the rule book, it kind of says, no matter what, I have to carry on. The only person who can stop a fight is the referee. The corners who are throwing towels in, they don't have the right to do that. They're taking away the most important thing a fighter wants in his career, which is respect. It's not for them to take away the respect from the fighter by throwing the towel in. Taking a beating, again, it sounds odd, but it is good. It is good because it is boxing. It isn't, I would understand if you're playing a game of table tennis and a guy starts coming over and starts hitting you, then okay, you can quit because it's tennis. That's not boxing. Boxing, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to absorb punishment.
After your son claimed the IBO title in his last fight against Renan Quinlan, I interviewed yourself and your son, and quote Chris EUBANK Sr., James DeGALE, we're coming for you, we're going to cook you. Can you just explain what has happened since then, as in regards to your son potentially fighting James DeGALE? What has happened?
If a man doesn't want to fight you, there's nothing anyone can say.
So offers were made, yes.
Pardon?
Offers were made on your
Absolutely,
side, yeah.
I mean, we welcome that fight. The public wants that fight. Junior spoke the language of a champion today. He said, put the belts aside. Don't talk to me about belts. I want to fight him. Now that's the language of a champion. James DeGALE is... there's a criticism that says, that goes around where people say that, Junior is a daddy's boy. I've taken some severe beatings in this game, this life, this realm, this beautiful, beautiful sport, this beautiful game, this beautiful intensity. So it followed that I should actually pass over what made me, or what got me the respect of which I enjoy. Unfortunately, he has his mummy, and his mummy controls what he does, but she doesn't know boxing. which is why, unfortunately, and again, this is a humble prediction. You see, I've been retired now some 19 years. My position is strong with the people. My position is strong. I am considered a benchmark. My prediction is this IBF champion and James DeGALE, his behavior in not fighting Junior, his behavior in terms of his language, his behavior in terms of his competence, this will, in my humble opinion, this will take away from whatever legacy he would like to build. It will take away from it. You know, the mother has to allow him to fight because it's not down to him.
What was the reason that came back from Team DeGALE as to why this fight wouldn't happen with your son? What was the reasoning you got back?
You know, he's having heart surgery. I mean, shoulder surgery. Some people say he doesn't have the heart. And it seems everything is pointing into that direction. Now, Junior is fighting what they refer to as a Panzer tank. Look it up, Panzer tank. It's an old German tank. It just goes through everything. And he expects to do the same with Junior, to overrun him. So, you know, Barry Hearn, my friend, in spite of our differences in business, he's my friend. He said, now that is a pay-per-view fight. He said, let's do it in September. I said, Barry, come on. You know, I've got to carve out for my son his future. So, you know, don't be too nice to me. Don't persuade me to give up on that dream a father should have for his son. You've done wonders for your son. Let me try and do one or two things for mine.
You firmly believe that your son will stop Arthur Abraham on July 15th?
You know, his style, Panzer tank, his style leaves Junior no choice. See, look, either he will break Junior or Junior will break him. And there can't be any other scenario because his style is to come forward and create war. Now, that, in my view, as a former fighter of note, is madness. But when you have a style, you know, they say you can't teach old dogs new tricks. And so therefore, he's going to do what he's always done, which is to come forward. And if he does that, then there really needs to be a referee with good common sense officiating this particular contest, because he will be in danger, in my view, as a former participant. For all the guys out there who may not like my shtick, you know, I have this tread. I've had this experience, and I'm speaking from the viewpoint of experience. It is a knowledge. And obviously, I have a skill which is still here. But also, I know Junior has the correct attitude, which trumps knowledge. He may be more knowledgeable than Junior. He isn't going to be more skillful, and he certainly will not have Junior's attitude. Junior is hungry, and he's fresh. Fresh, you know, some people may say, well, you know, is that important? It's important because he's been built by another fighter. You know, his hourglass hasn't started to run down. He's fresh. So these guys again are in danger, and I have to stop telling. I have to really stop telling the audiences this truth because the fighters are hearing it and they are behaving and impersonating Roadrunner. They are, there was a word used when I was a kid, scarper. You remember that word? They are scarpering. In Jamaica, in my take off.
Chris, can I get your opinion on Golovkin, who faces Canelo on September 16th? What do you think about this fight?
Junior will be in shape, and if something should happen to where there is some type of blockage and Canelo should pick up an injury, Junior will be ready to take his place. It's my only hope because I think that will be his last chance to actually take his zero.
And the fight itself, if we are to assume that it will happen?
Canelo Alvarez is so. If we put aside Floyd Mayweather Jr., Canelo is the best fighter on the planet, in my view, bar none. Junior says he can beat him. Junior doesn't see a problem. But Canelo, I respect him. I really respect his ability. He's been taught by the old school, and he has followed instruction. He does what it says on the tin. He is the real deal. Canelo is a wonderful fighter. I admire him. Beautiful fighter. A truly great fighter. And Junior has it to prove. But because of my rhetoric, because of my language, I think I've scared a few people. Just pretend I'm a storyteller. It's not real. Come on, James. George. We're just guys, okay? Fight him.
Final question, just on a personal one for you, Chris. Can you rule out or not rule out that you will ever get back in the ring with Nigel Benn again?
The best of everything. That's what I wish for you.